Another natural disaster threatens a different part of the country as millions of people along the Gulf Coast are getting ready for Hurricane Sally. The storm bringing the potential dangers of deadly flooding and high winds. Forecasters from the National Hurricane Center in Miami expect Sally to become a hurricane today and come ashore early Tuesday, bringing as much as 20 inches of rain. The potential for severe weather stretches from the western Florida panhandle to southeast Louisiana. Mandatory evacuations have been ordered in Mississippi and Louisiana.
We have really good reason to be very concerned about this storm, particularly because it is going to be a very slow-moving storm.
I mean, after Katrina, anything around here and anything on the water, you're going to take serious. You know, you can't take anything lightly.
Emergency teams in Mississippi warned that Sally was expected to coincide with a high tide, leading to a significant storm surge. Now we want to take a look from AccuWeather at Hurricane Sally and where it's expected to come ashore.
It has been an active hurricane season, and thus far we're still remaining pretty active. Take a look at the Atlantic. We have waves, tropical storms, and we're even continuing to see once again Paulette moving through portions of Bermuda, but we're going to be concerned about Sally here in the United States, which has already brought some extensive rainfall across the Florida Keys, over 11 inches, near 12 inches across portions of the Florida Keys over the weekend. We will likely see some major flooding here throughout Interstate 10, including New Orleans leading through Panama City, and we're also looking at the risk for damaging winds and storm surge. That's exactly why we're under a hurricane warning in New Orleans. As we take a look at Tropical Storm Sally moving west-northwest at 9 miles per hour, wishing it would go a bit faster, it does have the chance to slow down as it continues to creep closer to the Mississippi Delta there. We are going to be concerned about this becoming a Category 1 hurricane, gaining strength as we head into late tonight and moving through our Tuesday as it continues to interact with land and pull further to the north and to the east into later this week. It will downgrade, but that slow progression will leave us worried about some extensive rainfall. As we lead through to your Monday, we're noticing heavy rain and thunderstorm activity, really limited, but there will start to be some showers and thunderstorms throughout the Florida peninsula, and we'll continue to see that lift along Interstate 10 through the Florida Panhandle, moving through Alabama, and eventually some of that wet weather will start to swing a little further to the west, but it seems like the heaviest of that moisture is out to the east, and we'll continue to monitor rainfall totals, potentially up to 8 inches in that darker shade of green. We are forecasting an AccuWeather local storm max in that darker shade of green at the immediate coast up to 24 inches. Outside of that, winds will also be a concern. We see gusts potentially up to 100 miles per hour and storm surge once again at that immediate coastline where Sally is likely to make landfall, 6 to 10 feet across portions of coastal Louisiana. And when we're not in the center of that storm, we can still see storm surge throughout Panama City, 1 to 3 feet. This will lead to extensive property damage. In our AccuWeather real impact scale, we're going with a 2. This includes wind, flooding, rain, storm surge, and economic loss. We are anticipating moderate flooding, significant damage to that immediate coastline. So if you're out to New Orleans, Mobile, and even further to the north in Hattiesburg, we are looking at the risk for that flooding, rainfall, and damaging winds to bring in some long-term impacts.